The Scottish Cup win may have bought Jimmy Teelan some time last season at Aberdeen, but how long will it be until the fans have had enough of these performances? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It was another poor day at the office for Aberdeen. Defeat against Hearts in match day 1, and that has left them bottom of the table. A lot of Aberdeen fans not happy, and this goes all the way back to last season. Other than the great start to the season, the 11 unbeaten start, I mean, it was all downhill after that. Now, they did win the Scottish Cup, fair play to them, but even in that game, up until they equalised, which was a stroke of luck, you know, Kasper Schmeichel really helping them out, up until that moment, they were really poor in that game, piss poor, in fact. So yeah, Jimmy Teelan, he won the Scottish Cup, fair play to him, but he needs to change things around, because I think if this continues, he won't be there. He won't have an opportunity to win another Scottish Cup, because I think he'll be gone long before we get to April or May. So with that said, we're going to look at how the Aberdeen fans have reacted to this defeat, but before we do that, let's hear some words from Jimmy Teelan. What did he have to say after the match? Well, he spoke and he said, quote, "In the first half, we were disappointed with our performance because they won the battle with second balls. We had to do better. In the second half, there were less mistakes and we created chances, but 50-50 duels, we have to do better in the future. We knew what we were going to face today, and it's going to be a different type of game against Celtic." End of quote. So, Jimmy Teelan there pointing at the fact that they struggled with the 50-50 balls, and they weren't winning the second battles, but it's going to be a different game when they take on Celtic. You're damn right it's going to be a different game when they take on Celtic, and I think it's going to be the same outcome. I don't see it changing. I see Aberdeen starting the season with 2 defeats in a row. They couldn't beat Hearts. I don't think they'll beat Celtic. And, I mean, who knows? Performance against Celtic might be better. They might up it, but, yeah, Jimmy Teelan not really filling me with much confidence right now. But let's see what the Aberdeen fans have to say then. So we've got B. Hearn. True history makers, might have been the worst performance by a Scottish club on opening day ever. So this is a Rangers fan. I'm sure there's been worse, okay? I'm sure it was a bad performance. It wasn't great, but I'm convinced there's been worse performances for sure. Danzig 66 said, "Very unaspiring. Arguably, we're underprepared for the start of the season. Even so, the same failings of last season appear to remain. Too slow, lack of grit and drive in midfield, one shot on target and losing soft goals. Hope we can make some quality signings before the window slams shut." I think Aberdeen need to make some signings for the window slams shut. Up front, they're very light. They don't have much outside of Yenge, who didn't look good today, and Sokler, who I'm not a big fan of either, to be fair. I think Aberdeen need to make, not just up front, I think attacking midfield positions as well. To the creativity, there's just, I don't think there's that many individually good players, creative players, skilled players at Aberdeen, so we'll see. Mbabu says, "Mitov doing a blind star jump for the second goal is concerning for a goaltender. It was weird, he kind of just jumped up with it. I get it, he's trying to stretch, he's making himself big, but when it doesn't work, you do kind of look like an idiot." CK says, "At least it wasn't 3-0. Stuart says, "Blame the wind up the road." I mean, it was pretty windy, for sure. NS says, "You'll still get second, I reckon. You'll finish ahead of the Simpletons, plenty of seasons left. Sheep FC back at it again." What else we got? Billy In says, "Honestly, one of the worst performances I've seen in many years against a bunch of hammer throwers with such an obvious style. Pathetic. Not blaming Yenge one bit for defeat, but he is atrocious, and we need anyone else as our starting striker." Right. Put a bit of credit here. Give Hearts a little bit of praise. The hammer throwers to suggest that we just bullied our way to a win. That's not fair. You know, I thought we played some good football, especially in that first half. At times we were cutting Aberdeen open with our passing and how fast we were moving the ball and getting forward. So, yeah, just to suggest that we somehow bullied our way to a win, don't agree with that at all. I mean, even look at the Milne strike, the Shanklin strike. I mean, all the quality came from Hearts players. So it's not like we just used our aggressive style and physicality to get the win. Not at all. As for Yenge, yeah, is it his fault? I don't think so, but he certainly should have scored. He could have equalised for Aberdeen, and he didn't. To me, he's not good enough. Aberdeen need to replace him. And yeah, that's it. Yengi cannot be a starting striker. Based on what I've seen today, or tonight even, or yesterday, last night, he can't. He can't be a starter. Not unless Aberdeen don't have any plans or ambitions to do good this season. But yeah, Yengi's not the guy you want leading the line for sure. Red 83, I'm sure Yengi is a nice guy, but did anyone at AFC actually do any research on him prior? Clearly not. Shinnie is done and is not a left back. Disjointed all over the place. You're supposed to be ready to play at the first game, not 3 months in. Shocking letdown after Cup euphoria. Honestly, man, it's like the Cup one was great, but let's not pretend like Aberdeen were amazing in winning that Cup. I could see this coming. I could definitely see this coming. I've predicted Aberdeen to finish bottom 6, and I'm convinced that's where they'll be. I was not surprised by this poor performance at all. Jay Moyer says, a disgrace of a performance. Can't string 2 passes together, camped in our own half, shitting out of challenges, punting the ball aimlessly, and Kesini Yengi. No out-and-out goal scorer has been signed, arguably the most important position, and that's what they serve up. Pish. It's not great. It's not great. If I was an Aberdeen fan, I'd be worried. Russell Martin must stay, a.k.a. Deborah, says, oh well, you'll always have the beat Celtic on penalty trophies. Beat Celtic on penalties trophy. Unlucky. It's a good trophy to have. Why wouldn't you want a Scottish Cup? Especially if it's your first one in what? Is it 40 years? 45 years? Something crazy like that. A long time since they won the Scottish Cup. Piss poor. Deluded Dandy, sign some fucking strikers, you incompetent fucks. Okay, right. I think they do. They need to sign some strikers, no doubt about it. Shabadoo Jr. says 5 wins and 29 league games for Jimmy's Reds. It's not good for a team that claims to be the 3rd biggest in the country to have 5 wins and 29. That is embarrassing. Evan says embarrassing club losing your first game. The Aussie game, how did Milanovic go? I thought he was one of Aberdeen's best players, to be fair. I thought Aberdeen's brightest sparks and best moments came with Milanovic, but they didn't have many to choose from, to be fair. Teke says Aberdeen, bottom of the league where they rightfully belong. Abysmal defending and no creativity up front. Makes it look like it will be a tough and long season for the Dons. Hope is not all lost. Dons fans, I'm sure they will find their form when they face Rangers, which could happen. And to be fair, you don't even need much form to beat Rangers. I mean, Rangers are garbage. You could play pish and still beat them. Bargain bucket. How long will we persist with Stephen Gunn? Mark says, hope you have the worst journey back into your shithole on 12 men and still lose. Haha, get that up you. God, your fluky cup win papered over the cracks. You're shit. Along with Europe, you're in serious trouble. Agreed. G Wood, absolute shite at that Yengi playing in the reserves because he is no striker. Ron Burgundy's Reds. Overall, it was an okay performance. However, despite defending him, we cannot continue with Yengi as our main number 9. This is a serious issue. Honestly, I don't think it was an okay performance at all. The happy clappers won't like this, but Jack Milne was fucking terrible. I mean, I thought a lot of them were terrible. Serious questions need asked of the club and manager. Starting the season with the squad in the worse shape than the last, when the squad was already garbage, is unforgivable. I agree. I think that the Aberdeen squad's got worse. I think that since Jimmy Thielens came in, player for player, Aberdeen have regressed, and he's the one signing them. I think he's let better players leave, and the players he's replaced them with haven't been as good. To me, Jimmy Thielen has taken Aberdeen backwards, which is crazy. Ryan, know your place. Scotland's 4th team. Paul Monroe. There actually wasn't much between the teams. We were just toothless up front. Hearts not great either. We'll do fuck all this season as usual. Bullshit. There was a lot between the teams. Even if you listen to all the pundits, they agree that Hearts were, clearly comfortable. Hearts were far superior. And honestly, we probably should have won by more. So to say there was not a lot between the teams is certainly not true. Duncan Shearer's Ginger Heed said, disappointed, but there's clearly something decent about this side. Just needs a striker to take the chances that Yengi missed. Hearts benefited from better prep due to the LC League Cup, but are nothing special. We'll be okay this season if we sign a striker. I'd love to know what game he watched. It's not like Yengi had chance after chance after chance, or fed him on a silver platter. He wasn't great, and he missed chances, but Jesus Christ. I mean, Aberdeen were shite. It's not like he was the sole reason they lost. What have we got here? Skipper, well, match fitness showed there, although it was a little bit disappointed at the lack of 50-50 wins from our boys. In Scottish football, you've got to battle to earn the right to play. Andrew Close says, dress up any way you like, but 5 league wins since November 2024 is far from ideal and not what the 1000s that follow this side deserve. Poor signings and outfought by a manager who put the skip for being to regiment in his ways. I shake my head. Yeah, five wins since November is terrible. Joe says, humiliated by Dell's Dicks. Good win by Scotland's Ford Force. Daniel, who allowed us to start the season with Ambrose, Sokler and Yenge as our strikers? Think Jimmy was sending a message by taking Sokler on. Sultan, heads up lads, another warm-up game versus Celtic next weekend. We'll see us back to match sharpness once Yenge gets his boots on the right feet. We realise as a collective you actually need to graft and deal with high presses, robust challenges. We'll be fine. Sterling Sheep, Sears Pant Pishers, who said Yenge would be worse than shite, were proven so wrong tonight. That with that performance, won everything and lethal in the box. Aidan Dawn's got to say, 2 lucky goals to concede, just need a striker and a left back and we should be sorted. Roll on to Celtic, easy 3 points. I mean, some of these Aberdeen fans are deluded. Yeah, definitely in trouble this season. And I think that's it. I think that's where we will leave it. Celtic up next for Aberdeen. They're going to be, I think, smashed. Although Celtic were poor against St Mirren, but I think that Celtic will turn it up. I doubt Celtic are going to be pretty. I doubt Celtic are going to deliver, back-to-back performances like that. And I think they'll turn up, and I think they'll beat Aberdeen. So, I mean, here's the league table if we want to look at it since November 10th, and it's got Aberdeen last. So, yeah. Same points as St Johnstone, and they've actually played 2 games more. So, I mean, that is absolutely disgusting. It is what it is. But there you go, guys. There's your Aberdeen fans react. And, yeah, they're in trouble, I think, big time. Catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below. Thoughts on Aberdeen. Where do you think Aberdeen will finish? Where do you guys think Aberdeen will finish? Let me know in the comments where you think Aberdeen will finish come the end of the season. And will Jimmy Teelan still be in charge? We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.